Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Dipayan Ghosh, and today in this video we are doing the complete monthly horoscope for July 2026. Now, I want to give you a very specific image to hold on your mind for this entire month. Think of July 2026 as a cosmic traffic jam. You have one of the most powerful engines in the entire solar system, Jupiter, sitting exalted in Cancer at its maximum strength. But the windshield is fogged up. The visibility is low. The luck is genuinely there, but it becomes very hard to see and very hard to act on for most of this month. So July is not a month where nothing happens, but it is a month where a lot happens internally while the outside world feels strangely paused. Now let me walk you through exactly why, and then we will go into sign by sign so you know exactly what this means for you specifically. All right. Okay. The defining event of this month is something called Jupiter combustion or Astangata in Sanskrit we say, or in short form we say Asta. This happens on July 15 when Jupiter, also exalted and powerful, gets too much close to Sun. And when that happens, the Sun's brightness essentially overpowers Jupiter's outward visibility. Think of this like the engine of your car is supercharged and it has more horsepower than it has ever had. But right now you cannot see the road clearly. So you cannot drive at full speed even though the engine is more than capable of it. This is exactly what is happening with Jupiter in this month. The power is very real, the luck is also real, but it gets internalized rather than externally visible for about a month, all the way until August 12th. Now, this is happening at the same time as several other major planetary shifts. So, July is genuinely a busy month astrologically, even though it might feel quiet or stuck on the surface of your daily life. Now, let me walk you through very important dates and months, date of this month, so you know exactly what is happening and when it is happening. All right. So, firstly, let me talk about July 4. All right. Now, on this date, Venus enters Leo. This brings surge of creative confidence and a desire to make bold and public declaration about yourself and your work. But Ketu is also sitting in Leo right now, and Ketu has a way of dissecting and questioning whatever Venus is trying to express boldly. So you may feel very confident and very expressive, but also slightly second guessed at the same time. All right. Now, at July 7, you can see that Mercury enters Gemini in retrograde motion, which in Sanskrit called Vakri. This is interesting because Gemini is Mercury's own sign. So even though it's retrograded, Mercury has a kind of intellectual acceleration happening. But this also brings data chaos, files getting mixed up, communication getting tangled, technology acting strange. This is actually a very good window to audit your communication system even while they are being temporarily disrupted. All right. Now on July 14, right? In July 14 you will find that new moon will be in Cancer, and this is a very beautiful and very emotionally significant new moon. It is the perfect day to go inward and set your intentions internally before the bigger traffic jam of this month really picks. Use this day for quiet reflection rather than loud action. Alright, now next we have the July 15. Alright, now on this date, you will find that Jupiter combustion officially begins. This is the start of the fog I mentioned earlier. Outward expansion essentially freezes for about 30 days. But I want you to think of this not as a luck disappearing, but as a luck being internalized. This is a spiritual and ethical audit period. The universe is checking whether what you are building deserves the scale you are hoping for. Alright. Now next we have Jupiter 16. Now on this date, the sun enters Cancer. This is called Karka Sankranti. All right, and this shift is collective focus of this entire world, not just your personal chart, but towards domestic security, home foundation, and ancestral roots. Globally, people start paying more attention to family, home, and where they actually come from during this period. All right. Next, we have July, I think July 19, right? So, in this July 19, you will find that Jupiter will enter Pushya Nakshatra. Now, even though Jupiter is still combusted and still relatively hidden in its outward expression, Pushya Nakshatra is considered one of the most nurturing and most protective nakshatras in this entire zodiac. This activates what I would call a compounding wealth frequencies, things that grow slowly but grow permanently. The kind of wealth and stability that does not disappear once it arrives. Right now, let's talk about July 24. Right now, in July 24, you will find that Mercury stations is direct in Gemini. This is called Marga, meaning Mercury resumes forward motion. Analytical clarity genuinely returns on this day. Complex trade, uh, negotiations, and communication issues that have felt stuck finally start finding their rhythm again. All right. Now, next we have July 25. Now, on this date, you will find that Mercury's combustion period ends well as well. All right. This is the day I want you to circle on your calendar because this is the green light for signing permanent contracts and executing high stakes legal agreements. Even though Mercury turned direct on the 24th, wait for this date specifically because the combustion clearing on 25th gives you full legal and communicative clarity. All right. Now next we have July 27. Now this is the most important day. All right. On July 27, 2026, Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and this is called Vakra of Saturn. This begins what I would call a karmic audit. Long term projects so slow down specifically so their structural integrity can be checked. This is not a punishment, but it is a quality control before the things scale further. All right. Now on July 29, on this date, this is a very genuinely and most significant day of this entire month. We have a full moon in Aquarius happening at the exact same time as the sun conjuncting Jupiter in Pushya Nakshatra. I'm calling this as the luckiest day of 2026. This combination creates peak intuitive clarity and the potential for genuinely visionary breakthroughs. If there is one day this month to pay close attention to your insights, your sudden ideas, and your gut feelings, it is July 29. All right. Okay. Now, I want you to explain something deeper about what is happening this month because I think it is genuinely matters the most for how you approach the next several weeks. The Sun and Jupiter coming together specifically within Pushya Nakshatra and defining signature of July 2026. And even though Jupiter is combust during this period, from July 15 to August 12, its expansive power is not being destroyed, it has been redirected. This is what I called a period of incubated growth. Think about what an incubator actually does. It does not stop growth, it protects growth that is happening at a stage too fragile and to be exposed to the outside world yet. This is exactly what is happening with Jupiter's energy right now. You are being asked this month to evaluate the ethics of your own expansion. If you try to force a big public win, a major launch, a big announcement, while the great benefic is blinded by the sun rays, you are very likely to run into institutional friction. Things will not move the way you expect. Doors that should open will feel stuck. But here is the very beautiful part. If you use the exact window to nurture your internal systems, to build your structure underneath your goals, to clear up what needs fixing behind the scene, the rewards that comes after August 12 will be compounding and genuinely permanent. Not flashly, not flashy and temporary. Solid and lasting. So in a traffic jam, a person who checks their map wins, not a person who keeps honking the horn and try to force their way through. All right. This is just an example. I just say you. All right. Now let me give you a very specific guidance on what to avoid during July. Do not sign permanent contracts before July 25. Even though Mercury turns direct on the 24th, please wait that one extra day until the 25th. When when its combustion period also clears, that extra day gives you the full legal and communicative clarity you need before committing to anything long term. Avoid speculative financial ventures for this month. With Jupiter combust and Saturn stationing retrograde at the same time, the specific kind of luck that high risk trading requires is obscured right now. Stay away from volatile market instruments and high risk financial bets during July. Okay. Now, if you are Sagittarius ascendant specifically, avoid submitting international travel documentation or permanent residency application until after Mercury station clears on 24th. Paperwork submitted before this date is likely to face unnecessary delays or complications. Avoid impulsive property expansion this month. As Saturn stations in Pisces, any hasty real estate decision may any hasty real estate decision made right now have a real risk of revealing hidden structural or legal issues later, potentially as far out as December. Take your time with any property decisions in July. All right. Okay, now let me give you a positive and productive side of this month. Use the Mercury retrograde in Gemini to audit your financial streams. This is genuinely an excellent window to identify and plug leaks in your business overheads or your staff related cost. Look closely at where money is quietly slipping away and fix it now. Perform a complete system overhaul while Mercury is in its own sign of Gemini. Back up your important data thoroughly. Rewrite any contracts or agreement that have become outdated or unclear. This is genuinely the best window of the month for back office excellence. Behind the scene, behind the scene cleanup work has unusually strong support right now. All right. And prioritize deep restorative restorative healing this month. Practice like earthing, which means walking barefoot on natural ground. Slow and gentle swimming and digital detoxes are all specifically helpful right now. They discharge the static stress that builds up during this particular kind of cosmic traffic jam. Your nervous system genuinely needs this kind of grounding during July. Right. Okay, now let me walk you through every single ascendant and what this specific month means for you. Remember, this is based on your Vedic ascendant, your Lagna, calculated using sidereal astrology for the most accurate prediction. All right. Okay, first let me talk about Aries. Your focus this month is in the fourth house. All right. I call this is a property audit. Luck is genuinely moving into your domestic roots during the Sun Jupiter conjunction. Jupiter combust in your fourth house gives you a very clear internal vision of what your perfect home should look like. But the combustion energy prevents a smooth, clean external closing of any property matter until August. My instruction for you this month is to focus on foundational office systems or home renovation planning. Avoid finalizing any property closings before 2000, sorry, before July 25. All right, this was for Aries. Now let's move on to the next sign, which is Taurus. All right, now for Taurus, your focus this month is the third house. What I call this is a consultative surge. Your communication becomes a genuine source of hidden powers and consultative strength this month. But Mercury's retrograde sitting on your second house of finance requires real caution. You may find yourself, uh, you know, re, um, renegotiating high stakes contracts, and these renegotiations needs 100% accuracy from you. My instruction for you is to avoid impulsive luxury spending this month and instead focus on capital preservation along with consultative pitches and advisory work. All right, this was for Taurus. Next is for Gemini. Right, so for Gemini, your focus this month is split between split between your first and second houses. I call this the asset realignment with your own ruling planet Mercury retrograde directly on your first house. You are genuinely undergoing a massive identity audit this month. At the same time, exalted assets or funds that have felt stuck in your second house are showing real signs of recovery. But negotiations connected to these funds need to remain incubated, meaning held back until the very end of this month. My instruction for you is to resolve any pending financial negotiations only after July 25. All right, this was for Gemini. Next is Cancer. So for Cancer, right, your focus this month is in your first house. I call this a identity rebirth. You are genuinely the epicenter of the Sun Jupiter power happening in Pushya Nakshatra. This month, you are moving from being a behind the scene player to becoming an absolute executive leader. However, because the Jupiter is combust right now, I want you to lead with what I call a quiet authority rather than ego. My instruction for you is to claim your leadership role internally and consciously this month, but maintain a relatively low public profile until August when the visibility clears. All right, next is Leo. So, for Leo, your focus this month is in your 12th house. I call this is a spiritual sabbatical. Your luck right now is now mostly internal and connected to foreign lands. While Venus moving into your own first house brings a genuine surge of charisma and personal magnetism. However, with Saturn challenging your Dhaya transit, affecting you, and a combust Jupiter sitting in your 12th house, uh, your greatest gains this month genuinely comes from solitude and strategic internal auditing rather than outward action. My instruction for you is to perform a deep internal audit of your life and your choices. Avoid high profile public ego display for this month and protect your health carefully. All right. Okay, next we have Virgo. All right, all right. So for Virgo, your focus is your focus this month is in 11th house. I call this is a networking breakthrough. There is a massive potential right now for monetizing your public presence and securing large retainer contracts. But your ruling planet Mercury is retrograde sitting on your 10th house of career, which means that you genuinely need to re- renegotiate your professional status before you can actually collect on these gains. My instruction for you is to use July 29 full moon specifically to finalize any high level trade dealings or major professional agreements. All right. Now next we have Libra. Okay, so for Libra, your focus this month is your own 10th house. I call this is a career command. Luck is shining directly on your public status and your corporate authority this month through your 10th house. But as a Saturn stations retrograde on your 6th house of service and you genuinely need to overhaul your daily workflow and resolve any uh, employee disputes before you try to scale your operations any further. My instruction for you is to solidify the projects you are currently working on and resist the temptation to add one more thing to your plate right now. All right. So next we have Scorpio. All right, so for Scorpio, your focus this month is in the ninth house. I call this is a wisdom shift. Fortune is favoring long-term legal matters, education and international paths through your ninth house this month. However, your Saturn stationing in your fifth house, you generally need to put all your speculative financial ventures on absolute hold to avoid structural losses. My instructions for you is to avoid risky financial bets this month and wait patiently for your ninth house expansion to fully manifest once August arrives. All right. Next, we have Sagittarius. All right, so your focus this month is in the eighth house. I call this a transformation and legacy month for you, Sagittarius. Unexpected gains through your shared resources or royalty type income are possible as Jupiter transits on your 8th house this month. However, Saturn stations happening on your 4th house puts real brakes on any domestic moves. Make sure your roots are genuinely stable for you go seeking the fruits of this month. My instructions for you is very clear, and this is very important for your specific sign, is to thoroughly audit any property paperwork and avoid travel related documentation until July 24. All right. Now next we have the Capricorn. So for Capricorn, your focus this month is the 7th house. I call this is a strategic partnership. luck is enter Luck is entering your life through elite business alliances and high-end cooperative networks in your 7th house this month. As your own ruling planet, Saturn stations in your 3rd house, you genuinely need to automate your communication system and stop trying to be a solitary builder doing everything yourself. My instruction for you is to shift from being a solitary builder to becoming a master conductor. Delegate your administrative task this month rather than holding on to all of them yourself. All right. Okay. Now next we have the Aquarius. All right. So for Aquarius, your focus this month is the sixth house. I call this a service optimization. Breakthroughs in your daily routines and the resolution of long standing obstacles are highlighted in your sixth house this month, with your ruling planet Saturn stationing in your second house of wealth. You genuinely need to conduct a strict audit of your overhead expenses and minimize any discretionary spending right now. My instruction for you is to perform a routine health checkup this month and focus on aggressive depth reduction wherever possible. All right. Now next we have the last sign, last ascendant again, which is the Pisces ascendant. All right, so for Pisces ascendant, your focus this month is your own fifth house. I call this is a creative sovereignty. Your creative output and your strategic influence are both at an all time high this month. But Saturn stationing directly on your first house, demanding a total identity reality check from you. You are genuinely in the process of securing your intellectual property, but you need to do this with extreme karmic accountability. My instruction for you is to focus on wealth preservation and high return, stable assets rather than your volatile speculation this month. All right. Now, let me give you a specific practices for working this month's energy. For Mercury support, all right, to mitigate the retrograde and the data chaos this month, worship Lord Ganesha every Wednesday, offering moong dal, which is green lentils, to birds is a genuinely beautiful and very specific remedy that stabilizes your analytical focus and clears communication bottlenecks during this period. All right. Now, for Jupiter's support, honor your teachers or mentors every Thursday this month. Donating yellow items such as bananas, honey, or gold colored cloth genuinely helps you to access the hidden luck of a combust exalted Jupiter. Even though Jupiter's power is internalized right now, these acts of honoring the Guru energy helps the hidden luck flow towards you more easily. All right. For Saturn's protection, and this is a very specifically important for Leo and Libra ascendants given what we have discussed about your charts this month. On Saturday evenings, light a mustard oil lamp under a peepal tree while chanting Om Sham Shanicharaya Namaha 108 times. This specifically pacifies the stationing Saturn energy and help clear administrative blocks that particularly relevant for your two signs this month. All right. Now let me close with very clearest way I can put this. Luck is not lost in July 2026. It is simply being restructured. If you try to force the engine forward during the cosmic traffic jam, all you will do is overheat. The fog around Jupiter is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something important is happening beneath the surface that needs protection while it develops. All right. Use this month to audit your foundations, honor your mentors and teachers, clean up what needs cleaning behind the scenes, and prepare yourself genuinely for the green light that is coming in August. The star impel, they do not compel. All right. You always have the choice in how you respond to this energy. Choose patience this month. Choose internal work over external pressure, and trust that what gets built quietly in July becomes permanent once Jupiter's lights is fully visible again. All right. Now, if you want to make your free Kundli and birth chart, visit the Cosmic Dharma website. Link will be in the description down below. And if you want to book a personal consultation with me, you can just simply DM on Instagram. Link will be in the description down below. Before we wrap up, drop your Vedic ascendant or moon sign in the comments below. I want to genuinely know to see which lagnas and which lagnas are navigating this traffic jam with me today. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who needs to understand this month's energy, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Tell me below where in your life does it feel like things are stuck or paused right now. Let's decode the Sagittarian lesson together in the comments. Right? Until then, stay patient, stay grounded, and stay sober again. Jai Shri Ram.